What we are introducing here is a triple launch with an airtime hill. Since we are experiencing this airtime hill 3 times with 3 different sets of speeds, we are experiencing also different airtime. So we are starting first with weightlessness airtime, then being more aggressive when we go backward. We experience a backward launch. We are having a more aggressive uplifting airtime. And once we come back with top speed, which is approximate 107 kilometers per hour, we are experiencing on the same hill the strongest airtime ever on this roller coaster, which is approximately minus 1.1, minus 1.2 G. So it completely contributes to the launch sequence, because if we would not have an airtime hill, we would just launch forward, backward, forward. It's also a nice experience, but here it's an experience completely 3 times different, because we are experiencing 3 completely different sets of airtime. It starts like a normal top hat. Because it's a top hat, it's approximately a bit more than 40 meters. So you're experiencing on every seat uplifting airtime of approximately half a G. But then magnetic brakes are slowing down the train. You are hanging at the top, facing down. The train is always still crawling with slow speed, so it never stops. But this is a kind of anticipation, because after the launch sequence, which is 25 seconds, we're experiencing already 8 different airtime moments. You have a bit of time to breathe, but not to relax, because on the other hand, you are facing down, you are seeing the layout in front of you, and it's an anticipation moment, because you see for the first time what is coming in the backstage area.
Yes, we will see further fast switches in Intamin roller coasters, and in this context it's important, I think, for your audience to know and understand that that was an Intamin development, actually coming out of Daniel's creative mind, how to, in a very smart way, increase and extend the right duration and the right experience without adding additional track meters, and at the same time also making sure with the available technology and all our knowledge to not disturb the ride experience by integrating this fast switch. And as the name already indicates, the switching process is so fast, and the precision and the sensoring, that we can work with this element without needing to stop the train if that is not desired, because we do have applications where we actually, after passing the switch, want to stop because we want the train to launch from a standing still position. And with all that, we are at the forefront when it comes to this particular feature, which in the meantime has been copied by some of our competitors, but we are very proud with what we have, and that we can and will also apply this for future installations. Intamin is the only roller coaster supplier with several different launching propulsion systems available. We are able to determine for each and every application the most appropriate and best propulsion system. When we look at our family thrill coasters, you could eventually also apply linear motor technology. However, in some instances, or I would even say in most instances, this is a technical overkill. I would say 20 years back, we had hydraulic-powered friction wheels, with all the good and the bad things hydraulics in general come with and bring with. At the same time, the technology in electric motors constantly improved, so that we actually came to the conclusion, with the available technology in electric-driven friction wheel or tire wheels, kicker wheels, you can achieve the very same result, or eventually even a better result, than with the hydraulic-powered friction wheels technology. We switched that field. We also looked at the generation of noise. For many parts, noise is an issue, not necessarily the noise generated by the guests, but the noise generated by the propulsion systems. And we came up with a very, very noise efficient, actually silent, electric driven friction wheel drive, where we also have a very power efficient system. And I think one of the first one was nouveaux at Tour Summerland, which is still one of my favorite coasters. In this segment, we successfully implemented this technology and have further developed it and refined it. And now coming to your question, what always has an impact on the propulsion system, on the appropriate propulsion system, is the weight of the object, in our case the train you want to move, and also the acceleration values you want to achieve. So obviously for a family coaster you don't want to accelerate with 1.5, 1.6 G, and that's why the answer is the most appropriate and best system are the electric driven tire wheels.
The drop track was inaugurated at all towers for the season 13 coaster. It was, in this case, also Intamin pitching the idea to Merlin. We were very lucky that we were able to introduce it there. So the big benefit of our drop track, which was also originally inaugurated, is that we can bounce in between the drop sequence. We can stop. So we can generate out of the 5-meter free fall to weightlessness experiences. And this is due to the system we developed more than 10 years ago. That we completely use still this system. For sure we changed here and there out of the experience also details. But the mechanics, the propulsion system of the drop track is still the same. And since we are here using hydraulics, the system is also able to stop in between. With all the other drop tracks you are finding on the market, it's not so easy to stop in between like we are doing it. And therefore, we are still using the system. We inaugurated it successfully in the US 2 times also in Europe. To say, we are still using the same technology, but a bit massaged details here.
We started realizing that a number of, in particular, flume rides, but also rapid rides, are soon reaching their lifetime, and at the same time understanding that those rides are still among the most popular rides in every park. We said, well, I think we need to invest some brainstorming and experience from the various fields we are acting. What can we do to bring the water rides, in particular flume, but also rapid rides, to a next level, to allow the operators of those rides to consider enhancing the ride experience of the existing one or replacing it with a totally new one, and certainly also for new developments, starting with the state-of-the-art flume ride, for instance. The very latest feature which we now have introduced is the booster for a flume ride, where the boats are accelerating horizontally and then going over a hump and then continuing to float in the channel or trough and so on. I personally had the pleasure to test that because we have set up a testing device at our facilities in Germany. It's great. Flume ride is a family ride. If someone expects an acceleration like on an LSM launch coaster, that hasn't been the target, and that will not happen. But for the target group, it just is an unexpected, fully fun-filled experience. And the feedback we have from the first discussions with clients is very, very good. Simple answer to your question is market demand. What we see since a few years now is an increased demand for immersive attractions. Like with so many developments, we are very, very often at the forefront, sometimes resulting in being a little bit too early. For instance, which eventually not everyone knows, Intamin was among, if not the very first, introducing flying theater. But we were just too early with that idea. We have been approached by several clients over the years, can you do a flying theater? And we just said, well, there are already enough different flying theater vendors out there. We don't think that it needs another one. And at the same time, we thought, okay, what kind of attraction can we develop to increase the offering for that market? The first one was the Dome Ride Theater, which we, after quite some time, finally succeeded executing. Next year, people can experience it. And the latest development in this segment for us is the Motion Tower, which we think is a pretty exciting attraction, having a high capacity, up to 90 passengers, and able to fulfill a number of different motions, combining that up, down, pitching forward, backward, tilting, and in combination with good media content, it's going to be a terrific attraction.